going on, guys? Chipmaster22 here, and welcome back to the AOR Rallycross highlights video. Today we are at Holjes, however you pronounce it, in Sweden for round 4. One of my favourite tracks on the Rallycross calendar. I just sort of can nail it now. It's just I'm just good at it, you know. So yeah, this is round number 4. We've had a little bit of a break due to the F1's esports, because quite a few people racing in it, so we've had a little bit of a break. So we're back finally, and yeah, it wasn't good enough for the AOR, the esports, so we're back with Rallycross instead, because I'm quite good at that. So we'll stick with that in the Peugeot as usual. And today in our first heat, we've got Jordan McGonigal and Death Suspect in our lobby. So it's a Ford Fiesta and a Seat Ibiza there as well. So this is the penultimate round of the championship. Next week will be the final round. So I'm looking forward to it. Last season I did this race and it went so badly I didn't even upload highlights how badly it went. So hopefully this week's episode will go far better. I'll have to wait and see. But we still got time for more people to come into the series. So if you want to get involved, let me know in the comments. I can direct you into the right place. Unfortunately, this wasn't streamed, so this is the first time people have seen this these highlights, so hopefully they're okay. So lining up on the grid, and in the middle. I hate being in the middle of cars. I'd much prefer being outside. You've got a lot more room to wiggle with. So 3 red lights, or hell for ages as always. And away we go, finally. We get a very good start. We've got Jordan on our inside here. We're going to go round him, going through turn 1. We go very wide, so we're going to take the joker lap on lap number 1, and both the cars behind follow me through. So I'm staying in first place here because everyone's sort of done the joker lap. And the great thing about this track is the joker lap's only a second long, so you can still come out in first after doing the joker lap after someone being directly behind you. So that is one nice thing to see. And going, this is my favourite corner of the track as well, just whipping it in, put your foot down as well, drifting in, over the jump. And yeah, it's such a good track here. And coming around the final bend to finish off lap number 1, and we come across the line in first with another 3 laps to go. Unfortunately, nothing else happens in this heat, so I'll fast forward to the end of it. So as we come towards the final bend, a bit of a lonely race for myself in the Peugeot around this track. So we come across the line in first place, which is a great result for me. I'm very happy. 2:36. I've done 2:35, so it's pretty close to my time. You never do as well in the real races as you do in practice. But I'll now fast forward to heat number 2. So heat number 2, we've got myself, RC Extreme, GSY Davey and Dan Luciano. A very, very competitive lobby today, and luckily there's no rain, so we get told what the heat weather conditions are sort of a week before, so we have plenty of time to sort of practice. So there's no dry the whole time today, which is lovely to see. I do apologise if I sound a bit funny. I'm a little bit ill at the moment, so hopefully it doesn't come up on the audio too much. I'm not quite sure, but hopefully it's okay. So just adding Davey as a friend there, so I can invite him in if later on in the lobby, because I do host some of the races now because I'm a coordinator. So lining up in the middle again, unfortunately. So we've got 2 DS3s and a Ford Focus. So both in between the my title competitors, actually, Davey and RC Extreme. So 3 red lights come on, ready to race. Held as usual, and away we go, and we get a brilliant start there. But the only thing is, going 2-2-1, so I back off a little bit there. It's so tight going around 2-1. There's a lot of contact here between all the cars, and Dan decides to go for a joker lap after sort of spinning out. We're still in second place. We've got Extreme on our right side, and Davies got into the lead there with Dan Luciano taking 4th place here. But Davey was superb around this track, so quick. So trying to keep up with him was quite difficult. And as usually in Rallycross, there's hardly anywhere to overtake. You just got to wait for the person in front to sort of make a mistake, and then you can try and capitalise on the mistake. But we go on to lap number 2. We've got RC Extreme behind us, and he's already done his joker lap, so he's got an advantage over us as we go. Do we take it this lap? No, we don't. But Davey takes his joker lap this lap. As I said, it's such a quick joker lap. Davey's come out ahead of us, even though we were, you know, only about a second and a half behind him. He's come out ahead of us. So it's lap number 2, and Davey's still ahead. Extreme has dropped up a little bit more, and Davey is also quite near Extreme. So it's so tight in this, excuse me, in this race. Going down the hill towards the penultimate bend, favourite corner on the track. Davey goes a bit wide there. We don't really capitalise on that. Go a bit slow around the penultimate bend. So around the final bend, going on to lap number 3 here in the Rallycross Heat 2 race. We believe we take a joke lap this lap, but we don't do it very well. No, we don't actually. We just go very wide round turn number 2. I do apologise. I've completely forgot where I go on this track in heat number 2, but Dave goes a bit wide there. That marshal post, I've hit that so many times in practice, and it's a crazy amount. Just going wide round just turn 4. Just couldn't seem to nail it really, but round the penultimate bend here, going over the jump, and we're not far from Davey, but we're still we sort of equally spaced, and I couldn't really catch him in heat 2. But on the final lap, I've got to take my joker up this lap. So we go wide, trying to get the best angle going in there, but we get it's way too slow there. We hit the barrier on the left side there, and that's not ideal. And Extreme's got ahead of us, and Dan Luciano is right on our tail here, so we've got to be careful not to lose 3rd place here. But we get that atrocious line through turn 5, and it puts us out wide onto the grass, and it's given every chance Dan Luciano to come back into play and try and take 3rd place off us. As we go around the penultimate bend, he's right on our gearbox. We've got to be careful. Going over the jump, and I think we managed to keep him at bay. Going round the final bend to come across in 3rd place in heat number 2. Not ideal for us really. Wanted to do better, but Davey comes over in 1st, Extreme 2nd, me in 3rd, and Dan Luciano in 4th. That's on. So let's get to the semi-final now. So here we are, semi-final time. We've got Davey, myself, Nopples, the Icebergs, and Jordan McGonigal running off the top 5 in the semi-final. So good. I'm happy. Got in the semi-final. Started 2nd, which is nice to see. Don't usually start on the top, on the sort of front row. So I've got Davey next to me. As you already seen, he's been dominant in the in heat 2, and he was dominant in heat 1 as well. So it's going to be a tricky race with him today. So 3 red lights in the semi-final today. Sort this out, Codemasters. It's a bit frustrating. And away we go. We get a brilliant start compared to Davey, but Davey's got the inside line going over turn 1. We're trying to do the cut bucket on him. So we managed to bottle the normal lap. So we go for the joker lap first time around. But it looks like other cars are there as well. We have contact with the Icebergs there, and that sent us wide. We cut the corner massively. And then we get a warning from the stewards, but luckily doesn't give us a penalty in the end. But all of the gearbox of the Icebergs in front of us, we're trying to go down his inside, going down the hill. It's a tricky part of the track to overtake. We get hit the barrier, and it sends us wide, and that's not ideal. And it looks like the Icebergs span there because he's nowhere near us, and Nopples is all over our backside here. And we go very wide, get the final bend, and we go off onto the gravel, and Nopples has gone down our inside there. We get a warning from the controller saying he's got low batteries, and it actually went off mid-race. So I couldn't get any of the vibrations, which was a pain in the ass. So on lap 2, we've got Nopples ahead, and he's already done his joker lap. And Davey went for a joker lap on lap 2, so we're down now in 3rd place. Everybody's done their joker lap here. Nopples is ahead of us, and we're going to try and keep up with him and try and take 2nd place off him, because that will determine our place in the final if we manage to get through. As you can see, the table is glitching out because it's saying 2nd, 3rd. On the table. Nopples goes a bit wide there over the grass, and a piece of his car comes off there. We're going to try and nail that bend. We're all over his backside here, trying to wait for him to make a mistake so we can actually get past on lap number 3. Nicely done around turn 1. Just about make it over the rock. I don't know why it's rocky there. It's a weird turn, but we're going slow around turn 2, so that's not ideal. Cutting the curb around turn 4. We're allowed to do that because it doesn't give us a warning, so I'm going to keep on doing it. But excuse me, but we've got trying to play it down the inside of Nopples here. It's not the best place to overtake. He closes the door there, so we're trying to stay behind him round the penultimate bend. He's very sideways going around there. We try to go around his outside around the final bend. We're drifting in, and luckily he goes here, so we just drive straight through him. So that excuse me. Oh god, so much talking. I'm just dying here. I've got the flu, so not ideal talking this long, but. I'm dying here. Oh god. Dude, I'm really sorry. Just dying on screen, but that puts us up into second place on lap number 4, and unfortunately nothing really happens. Well, probably dying here, but on the screen, so I'll fast forward to the end. So guys, I've got a cough sweet now, so my throat feels a lot better. So as we go over the final bend, I do apologise for me dying in the commentary, but Davey wins it with us in second place, Nopples in third. I believe Iceberg's got a penalty. It should pop up now as he goes over the line. Yeah, 10 seconds. So Jordan McGonigal takes 4th place. So I'm not quite sure what he got. I presume that's for a corner cut. So here we are, guys, for the final race round Holjes, however you pronounce it. But it's Extreme, Davey, me, Troy, Nopples, and Death Suspect for the final race for round 4.
Right, nearly time.
I am on the second row with Troy on my left, and we've got Davey on the left in front and Extreme on the right. So this should be a good final, hopefully. 3 red lights, hell for ages as usual. And away we go. Davey gets a brilliant start. I think we had some lag issues, so he got started before us. But down the inside on lap number 1, we had contact with Extreme there, but he tried to go makes a mistake, and he's in the tyre barrier. He tried to go down the inside of Troy. We're hitting the tyre that Extreme hit on the start, but we tried to go down the inside of Troy. Again, there's contact between Troy and Death Suspect. We had more contact with Death Suspect there, and we're somehow in the second place. I'm not sure how that all happened, but we went down to 4th or 5th at one point, but up to second now. We've got Davey, a massive lead on lap number 1 already, but Extreme is down in 5th place in the final, which was surprising, if anything, after the contact we had with the I guess the tyre than the Joker lap. But on to lap number 2, we go round the first bend. Davey's done a Joker lap this lap. We go over the jump. We're slightly catching up with him, but he's got a massive lead. But Davey's bottled it on turn 3 and 4, so it's just giving us the great chance to catch up with him here. We're now only about a second behind where before we were 3 or 4 seconds behind him. So he's bottled it there on lap number 2, going down the hill on lap number 2, around my favourite corner. But we're not far. We've got a good gap to Troy and Extreme behind us. So we're not doing too badly at the moment. On to lap number 3.
Right, we need another 9 tenths.
So as the pit engineer is saying, 9 tenths. And Davey goes wide on the first bend, and he's giving us even more chance to catch up with him. We're now half a second, I believe, behind him. As you go around turn 3 and 4. The game is glitching. You can see on the right side, saying him in first and then second and back and forth. But Davey goes a bit wide around turn 5. We're going to try and get the cut back on him here. Doesn't work out this time round. And the game is suggesting I'm in first already, as you can see on the top. Round the penultimate bend, and Davey goes a bit wide, going around this bend. He goes over the jump, but he's gone wide. So that's allowed me into first place, and I was just amazed that I was actually in first. It was just incredible. But we are in first place on lap number 4. So I still could still bottle this. Hopefully I don't. But round turn 3 and 4. Extreme is now back up to 3rd place, so this will help his constructors and the driver standings as well, with Davey and Extreme's going to, they'll score lots of points here as we come down the hill on lap number 4, round the penultimate bend, over the jump. Got about a second over Davey behind us, and yeah, annoyingly, F1 Speed, or that double W otherwise known as, is not racing this weekend, so it's just me scoring points for Crash Dummies Motorsport, so we might be falling back in the constructors. We are second currently, so that's not going to help our chances, but just leading away on lap number 5, a lap and a half to go. So we've got Davey, Extreme, Troy and Nopples, and then Death Suspect in 6th place. So we're doing okay at the moment. We come round just to do our final lap for round 4. So I believe we're in 4th place in the standings at the moment with Extreme, Davey, F1 Speed, and then me. So so winning this will give us a massive haul of points in the standings, and it will go down to the wire in the final round on Tuesday. So this is giving us a great chance to actually win the title. But this will be my second podium as long as I don't bottle it here. Around the penultimate bend, in Sweden over the jump. And we've almost done it here. We almost won our first AOR race, and we got across the line to win round 4. I was absolutely buzzing when I went over the line here. Second podium in season 2. There's a massive difference compared to season 1. But yeah, over the line in first, and Davey second, Extreme third. I think Troy, Nopples, and Death Suspect rounds off the top 6. But yeah, thrilling race, and I won. So I'm absolutely buzzing. So guys, if you enjoyed it, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe if you are new. And I will see you very soon for the final round of Rallycross. Good night.